The vastness of space was pierced by the dark, foreboding shapes of the Imperial fleet as it descended upon Earth. Commander Zarok stood on the bridge of his flagship, his cold eyes fixed on the blue-green planet below. His voice carried the weight of impending doom. Earth doesn't know it yet, but their last sunrise is tonight. On Earth, the night sky lit up with the entry of the Imperial fighters, sleek and ominous, breaking through the atmosphere with a thunderous roar. The alarms in the Pentagon blared as General Adam Mitchell coordinated the rapid response. "All units, prepare for counterattack," Mitchell commanded, his voice calm but firm. "Remember, they underestimate us." Amidst the chaos, in the heart of Earth's defense, Captain Jake Lawson stood before his crew in the flagship. His eyes were steely, his resolve unshakable. "They think we're unprepared. Let's prove them wrong. Engage all defensive systems." Human ships launched from hidden bases around the globe, cutting through the night sky with precision and purpose. Unlike the bulkier Imperial vessels, these ships were designed for agility and speed. The initial skirmish revealed Earth's hidden technological advancements as the human fleet outmaneuvered their attackers. Commander Zarok watched the unfolding battle with a mix of surprise and frustration. How were they this advanced? This should have been easy. The first wave of the Imperial assault faltered, their ships unable to keep up with the nimble human fighters. Captain Lawson, observing the enemy's confusion, seized the opportunity. "Focus on their flanks," he ordered. "Break their formation." The human fleet executed the maneuver flawlessly, exploiting the gaps in the Imperial lines. Explosions lit up the dark void of space as enemy ships were disabled one by one. On the ground, the citizens of Earth watched the spectacle with a mix of fear and hope, praying for their defenders. In the Pentagon, General Mitchell received updates from the front lines. His face remained stoic, but his eyes betrayed a glimmer of satisfaction. "We're not just defending our planet, we're defending our way of life," he said to his staff. "Let's show them what we're made of." Despite the initial success, the battle was far from over. The Imperial fleet, though shaken, was vast and relentless. Zarok's voice cut through the chaos on his bridge, his frustration turning to anger. "Prepare the second wave. We won't make the same mistake twice." The Imperial ships regrouped, forming a tighter, more coordinated assault. This time, they focused their firepower on the human flagship, seeking to cripple Earth's command structure. The flagship shook under the barrage, but Lawson's resolve never wavered. "Hold the line!" he shouted. "Divert power to the shields and keep firing." The crew worked with military precision, their movements a testament to months of rigorous training. Despite the onslaught, they managed to maintain their defensive posture, their shields absorbing the brunt of the attack. Suddenly, a console beeped urgently. Lawson glanced at the readout, his eyes widening slightly. "They're targeting our engines," he muttered. "Smart move." He quickly relayed new orders, shifting the defensive pattern to protect their vital systems. The battle raged on, each side refusing to yield. The human ships continued their agile maneuvers, striking at the enemy's weak points with surgical precision. On the Imperial flagship, Zarok's frustration grew. "Why can't we break them?" he hissed. "They're just humans." The second wave of the Imperial assault began to falter, their ships struggling to adapt to the humans' unconventional tactics. Lawson seized the moment, launching a counteroffensive that pushed the invaders back even further. "All units, press the attack," he commanded. "Don't give them a chance to regroup." The human fleet surged forward, their coordinated strikes overwhelming the enemy. One by one, the Imperial ships were forced into retreat, their once formidable formation now in disarray. As the last of the enemy vessels retreated, the human fleet regrouped, their victory hard-earned but decisive. On the bridge of the flagship, Lawson allowed himself a small, satisfied smile. "We did it," he said quietly, his voice carrying the weight of the hard-fought victory. In the Pentagon, the mood was one of cautious optimism. General Mitchell addressed his staff, his tone resolute. "This was just the beginning," he said. "We've shown them our strength, but we must remain vigilant. There will be more battles to come." As the adrenaline of battle began to fade, the reality of their situation set in. The Imperial fleet had been pushed back, but Earth was still under threat. The citizens of Earth watched the skies, knowing that their defenders had given them a fighting chance. On the Imperial flagship, Xerox seethed with anger. His plans for a swift conquest had been shattered, but he was not one to give up easily. "Prepare for the third wave," he snarled. "We will crush them, no matter the cost." Back on Earth, Lawson and his crew prepared for the next stage of the conflict. The battle was won, but the war was far from over. As they readied their ships for another engagement, Commander Xerox's voice echoed through the corridors of his flagship, filled with determination and fury. "Initiate the Omega Protocol. We'll crush them with our full might." The human flagship hummed with energy as Captain Jake Lawson studied the holographic display of the battle. His eyes scanned the digital readout, noting the positions of both the human and Imperial forces. Each flicker of light represented a ship, a piece in a complex and deadly chess game. "We need to exploit their weak points," Jake said, his voice steady and confident. "Target their command ships. Without leadership, they'll falter." His tactical officer, Lieutenant Sarah Bennett, nodded, her fingers dancing over the control panel. "Coordinates set, Captain. Ready to engage on your command." Jake turned to his crew, his gaze hard and determined. "Remember, they think they're invincible. It's time we show them they're wrong. Engage all defensive systems and prepare for coordinated strikes." As the order went out, human ships began to move with calculated precision. They darted through the black void, sleek and agile, a stark contrast to the bulkier Imperial vessels. The initial engagement had revealed a key advantage: the humans' ability to adapt and strategize on the fly. On the Imperial flagship, chaos reigned. Commander Xerox paced the bridge, frustration etched on his face. "Regroup? Regroup? We can't let them gain the upper hand," he barked. But the damage was done. The loss of several command ships sent shockwaves through the Imperial fleet, causing confusion and disarray. Meanwhile, on Earth, the battle was far from over. General Adam Mitchell stood in the Pentagon, eyes glued to the live feeds from orbit. His voice was calm but firm as he addressed his staff. "We're not just defending our planet, we're defending our way of life. Let's show them what we're made of." Civilians across the globe rallied, providing support to the military efforts. Factories ramped up production of vital supplies, medical teams prepared for casualties, and communications networks worked tirelessly to keep everyone informed and coordinated. The spirit of unity and resilience that defined humanity shone brightly in these dark hours. Back on the human flagship, Jake monitored the progress with keen interest. The strategy was working, but he knew better than to become complacent. "Lieutenant Bennett, any signs of a counterattack?" Sarah's eyes flicked over the data. "They're regrouping, Captain. It looks like they're planning a concentrated assault." Jake nodded, his mind racing. "Prepare for evasive maneuvers. We need to stay one step ahead." The Imperial fleet, though battered, was not broken. Commander Xerox, now fully aware of the humans' capabilities, was determined to retaliate with full force. "Initiate Omega Protocol," he ordered, his voice dripping with determination. "We'll crush them with our might." Imperial ships reformed their lines, and the sky lit up with renewed intensity as they launched a massive assault. Human ships responded in kind, maneuvering with agility and precision to avoid the worst of the enemy fire while striking back with calculated efficiency. The battlefield became a deadly ballet of light and motion, each side pushing the other to their limits. Amidst the chaos, Captain Jake Lawson's voice remained a beacon of calm. "Stay focused, everyone. We've trained for this. We can do it." General Mitchell's voice crackled over the comms, a note of pride evident despite the dire situation. "Captain Lawson, our global support is ramping up. We're sending additional resources your way." "Understood, General," Jake replied. "We'll hold the line." The coordinated efforts of humanity began to turn the tide. Where brute force failed, strategy and adaptability succeeded. Imperial ships, once so imposing, found themselves outmaneuvered and outgunned. On the Imperial flagship, Commander Xerox's frustration boiled over. "How are they doing this?" he demanded, slamming his fist on the control panel. "They should be crumbling." But they weren't. Human ships continued to exploit every weakness, every flaw in the Imperial tactics. And then, amidst the chaotic symphony of battle, a new development caught Jake's attention. "Captain, we're receiving an unusual signal," Sarah reported, her brow furrowed. "It's encrypted but appears to be coming from within the Imperial fleet." Jake's interest piqued. "Can you decode it?" "Working on it," she replied, fingers flying over her console. Moments later, the signal cleared. "This is High Commander Torin of the Imperial Fleet. I offer vital intelligence in exchange for asylum." Jake's eyes widened. A potential ally within the enemy ranks? It was a risk, but one he was willing to take. "Patch them through," he ordered. Torin's voice came through, clear and resolute. Commander Zarok's arrogance blinds him. "I can help you, but you must guarantee my safety." Jake considered for a moment before responding. "You have a deal, Torin. What do you have for us?" The information provided by Torin was a game-changer. With precise data on critical vulnerabilities within the Imperial ships, Jake and his team formulated a plan for a decisive strike. As the battle raged on, human ships executed daring maneuvers, targeting the newly revealed weak points. The tide turned sharply in their favor, and the Imperial fleet began to crumble under the relentless assault. Commander Zarok, now cornered and desperate, issued one final, futile command. "All remaining ships, focus fire on their flagship. We can't afford to lose now." But it was too late. The combined might of Earth's forces, bolstered by Torin's intelligence, proved overwhelming. One by one, the Imperial ships fell until the once mighty fleet was reduced to wreckage. Captain Jake Lawson stood on the bridge, surveying the battlefield with a mix of relief and determination. "Earth stands. We don't bow to conquerors." As the remnants of the Imperial fleet retreated, Earth celebrated its hard-won victory. The spirit of unity and resilience had triumphed, but Jake knew the fight was far from over. Back in the Pentagon, General Mitchell's voice carried a note of caution. "Captain Lawson, we need to stay vigilant. Zarok won't forget this." The void of space was alive with the fury of battle. Explosions erupted, illuminating the darkness as human and Imperial ships clashed. Inside the human flagship, Captain Jake Lawson scanned the holographic display, his sharp eyes noting every movement. "Prepare for the next phase," Lawson ordered, his voice cutting through the tense air. "We've got a new strategy." Lieutenant Harper, his tactical officer, looked up. "Are we ready for this, Captain?" "We have no choice," Lawson replied. "It's now or never." As the Imperial fleet launched its massive assault, Earth's ships braced for the onslaught. The human vessels, though outnumbered, moved with a precision that belied their desperation. They weaved through the enemy ranks, targeting weak points with deadly accuracy. On the Imperial flagship, Commander Zarok watched the unfolding chaos, frustration etched on his face. "How are they doing this?" he muttered. "They're too coordinated." A junior officer approached, nervously holding a datapad. "Sir, we've intercepted a transmission. It seems to be from within our ranks." Zarok snatched the datapad, his eyes narrowing as he read the message. "A traitor? In my fleet?" Meanwhile, aboard the human flagship, Captain Lawson received a message from intelligence. The intercepted Imperial signal contained vital information about a critical vulnerability in the enemy's technology. "Lieutenant Harper, get our best techs on this," Lawson commanded. "We need to exploit this weakness." Human ships executed daring maneuvers, guided by the newfound intelligence. They targeted the critical nodes of the Imperial vessels, causing a chain reaction of failures. One by one, the enemy ships faltered, their systems crippled. On the ground, General Adam Mitchell coordinated with global leaders, ensuring Earth's united front remained strong. He addressed the world's population via a live broadcast. "Today, we fight not just for our survival, but for our future. We stand as one against this invasion." In the skies, the battle raged on. The human ships, bolstered by their strategic advantage, pressed their attack. Captain Lawson's leadership was evident as he directed the fleet with unerring precision. "Focus fire on their command ships," Lawson instructed. "Without their leaders, they'll fall into disarray. The strategy worked. As key Imperial ships were disabled, confusion spread through the enemy ranks. The once formidable armada began to crumble under the relentless human assault. Commander Zarok, now desperate, barked orders to his remaining fleet. Regroup. Do not let them break us. But it was too late. The humans had gained the upper hand, their resilience and ingenuity shining through. The tide of battle was turning in their favor. Amidst the chaos, a new threat emerged. The Imperial fleet initiated the Omega Protocol, a last-ditch effort to crush Earth's defenses. Massive warships, previously hidden, emerged from hyperspace, their weapons primed for destruction. Captain Lawson watched the holographic display, his mind racing. "We need to act fast," he said, turning to Lieutenant Harper. "Prepare our final assault. This is our chance." As the human fleet prepared for the ultimate confrontation, a mysterious signal was intercepted. It came from within the Imperial ranks, offering critical intelligence in exchange for asylum. "Captain, this could be a trap," Harper cautioned. "It's a risk we have to take," Lawson replied. "Contact them. Let's see if they're genuine." The traitor, a high-ranking Imperial officer, provided detailed schematics of the enemy's command structure. With this new information, Lawson devised a bold plan. "We'll strike at their heart," Lawson said, his eyes blazing with determination. "Hit them where it hurts the most." The human ships launched a coordinated strike, their movements precise and deadly. They targeted the core systems of the Imperial flagship, causing catastrophic damage. The once mighty vessel shuddered, its lights flickering. On board the Imperial flagship, Commander Zarok was livid. All remaining ships, focus fire on their flagship. "We can't afford to lose now." But the human forces were relentless. They pressed their advantage, exploiting every weakness. The traitor within the Imperial ranks continued to sabotage critical systems, further crippling the enemy fleet. "You wanted a war, Zarok?" The traitor's voice echoed through the comms. "Now face the consequences of your arrogance." With a final, decisive blow, the humans delivered a crippling strike to the Imperial fleet. The once mighty armada was reduced to wreckage, its ships drifting powerless in space. Captain Lawson stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching the remnants of the enemy fleet. "Earth stands," he said quietly, yet his voice carried the weight of victory. "We don't bow to conquerors." As the Imperial fleet retreated, Earth celebrated its hard-won victory. Captain Lawson and General Mitchell met on the surface, their expressions a mix of relief and determination. "We did it," Mitchell said, clapping Lawson on the shoulder. "But we must remain vigilant. This is just the beginning." Lawson nodded. "They'll be back. But now, they know what we're capable of." Captain Jake Lawson studied the encrypted message that blinked on his screen. The traitor's identity was still a mystery, but the intelligence they offered was clear, a way to dismantle the Imperial fleet's core systems. It was risky, but Jake knew they had no choice. "Get me a secure line to the traitor," Jake ordered, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. His crew moved swiftly, their confidence in their captain unwavering. The comms crackled, and a voice distorted but resolute came through. "You have one chance. I can disable their primary shields, but you must strike fast. They won't be vulnerable for long." Jake's eyes narrowed. "Why are you helping us?" A brief pause. "Zarok's tyranny ends today." "Understood," Jake replied. "We're ready." As the human flagship maneuvered into position, Jake briefed his team. "This is it. We hit them hard and fast. Our survival, our freedom depends on it." General Adam Mitchell's voice came over the intercom. "Jake, we're with you. All ground defenses are coordinating with your strike. Make it count." In space, the Imperial fleet loomed ominously, their confidence unshaken. Yet, deep within their ranks, betrayal simmered. The traitor moved swiftly, deactivating critical systems. Imperial ships flickered as their shields dropped, exposing their vulnerable underbellies. "Now!" Jake commanded. Human ships surged forward, their attacks precise and devastating. Laser fire lit up the dark expanse, each strike a testament to humanity's resilience and ingenuity. Commander Zarok's eyes widened as his flagship shuddered. "What's happening?" he roared, fury and panic mingling in his voice. "Restore the shields." But it was too late. The traitors' sabotage was thorough. Critical systems failed, and chaos erupted among the Imperial ranks. Jake's voice was calm, but his eyes blazed with determination. "Focus fire on their command ship. We end this now." The human fleet, unified and relentless, pressed their advantage. Explosions rocked the Imperial flagship as its hull breached in multiple places. The once formidable armada was now a crippled shadow of its former self. In the midst of the battle, Jake received another message from the traitor. "I've done what I can. The rest is up to you." "Thank you," Jake replied simply. There was no time for more. The battle raged on, but the tide had turned. On Earth, General Mitchell coordinated the ground effort. Anti-aircraft batteries and missile defenses targeted the remaining Imperial ships, forcing them into disarray. The combined assault from space and ground left the invaders no room to regroup. Commander Zarok, his ship on the brink of destruction, faced his officers. "We can still fight," he shouted, desperation clear. "Rally the fleet." But morale was shattered. The Imperial fleet, once a symbol of unyielding power, was now a fleet in retreat. Human forces continued their assault, driving the invaders back with each passing moment. Jake watched as Zarok's flagship finally succumbed, a massive explosion signaling its end. The battle was over. Humanity had won. Cheers erupted on the human flagship and across Earth. The sense of triumph was palpable. Jake allowed himself a rare smile. "We did it," he said softly. "We stood our ground and fought for our home." General Mitchell's face appeared on the main screen. "Jake, you and your team did incredible work. The world owes you a debt we can never repay." "It was a team effort," Jake replied. "Every single person played their part." As the remnants of the Imperial fleet fled, a sense of calm settled over Earth. The victory was hard won, but it was theirs. Jake stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars. "We showed them who we are," he said quietly to himself. "And we'll be ready if they ever come back." The human fleet returned to Earth, greeted by celebrations and relief. The sense of unity and purpose was stronger than ever. Jake disembarked, met by General Mitchell and a crowd of cheering citizens. "You've made us all proud," Mitchell said, shaking Jake's hand firmly. "This victory belongs to every person who stood up and fought." Jake nodded, the weight of the battle still fresh. "We'll need to stay vigilant. Zarok won't forget this." "Neither will we," Mitchell replied. "But today, we celebrate. Tomorrow, we prepare for whatever comes next." In the following days, efforts were made to rebuild and fortify Earth's defenses. The victory had shown the galaxy that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. But it also underscored the importance of unity and readiness. Jake spent time with his family, finding solace in their presence. The battle had reminded him of what he was fighting for, not just survival, but a future worth living for. As Earth looked to the stars, the message was clear. Humanity was no longer a passive target. They had faced a mighty invader and emerged victorious, and they would be ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The traitor, now in protective custody, provided invaluable insights into the Imperial fleet's weaknesses and strategies. This knowledge would be crucial in preparing for any future threats. In the end, the victory was not just about defeating an enemy. It was about proving that no matter the odds, humanity's spirit, ingenuity, and unity could overcome the greatest challenges. And that was a message that would resonate through the galaxy for years to come.